The Magical Candyland Adventure Party 1. The New Year's Eve party. Once upon a time, there was a little boy named Tommy who was very excited about New Year's Eve. He couldn't wait for the clock to strike midnight and for the fireworks to light up the sky. But first, he had to attend a special New Year's Eve party at his neighbor's house. Tommy's mom dressed him up in his favorite party clothes, a bright red shirt and blue jeans. Tommy loved colors, especially bright ones. He couldn't help but smile as he looked at himself in the mirror. As soon as they arrived at the neighbor's house, Tommy saw his best friend, Emily, standing by the door. "Hi, Emily!" Tommy shouted, running towards her. "Are you ready to have fun?" Emily giggled and replied, "Of course, Tommy. I brought my favorite toy, Mr. Bunny, to celebrate with us. He loves parties too." Tommy and Emily walked hand in hand into the house, ready for a night full of excitement. Inside, the house was decorated with colorful balloons, streamers, and a big banner that said, "Happy New Year." Tommy's eyes grew wide with amazement. He couldn't believe how beautiful everything looked. As the evening went on, more friends arrived. Tommy's other friends, Max and Lily, showed up with their parents. They all gathered around the table filled with delicious treats. There were cupcakes, cookies, and even a chocolate fountain. Tommy's tummy grumbled with delight. Suddenly, they heard a loud noise coming from the living room. It sounded like someone was playing a musical instrument. Everyone rushed to see what was happening. Little did they know, Tommy's neighbor, Mr. Johnson, loved playing the saxophone. Tommy and his friends started dancing and clapping their hands to the music. They even made up a silly dance move called the New Year Wiggle. It was a dance that made everyone laugh and have a jolly good time. Party 2, the mysterious countdown. As the clock ticked closer to midnight, Mr. Johnson announced that it was time for the countdown. Tommy and his friends gathered around the TV, ready to watch the big event. But just as the number started, the TV suddenly went blank. "What happened to the TV?" Lily asked, her eyes wide with surprise. "I guess we'll have to do our own countdown," Tommy's mom said with a smile. "Let's count together, starting from 10. 10, 9, 8. The children shouted in unison. But when they reached 0, something magical happened. The lights in the room flickered, and everyone felt a sudden gust of wind. When they opened their eyes, they couldn't believe what they saw. Tommy and his friends were no longer in Mr. Johnson's living room. Instead, they found themselves in a magnificent city made entirely out of candy. The streets were paved with chocolate, and the buildings were made of gingerbread. Gummy bears and lollipops lined the sidewalks, inviting the children to take a bite. Tommy's eyes sparkled with joy as he turned to his friends and said, "We're in Candyland." Party 3, a sweet adventure. Tommy and his friends explored the Candy City, hopping from one sweet adventure to another. They rode on a cotton candy carousel, swung on licorice rope swings, and even slid down a rainbow slide made of Skittles. As they ventured further into Candyland, they stumbled upon a chocolate river. "I've always wanted to go on a chocolate river boat ride," Max exclaimed with excitement. Just as they were about to climb aboard a candy boat, they heard a voice calling out to them. It was a little gingerbread man named Freddie. He wore a tiny top hat and had a mischievous grin on his face. "Hello, young adventurers," Freddie said in a sing-song voice. "If you want to cross the chocolate river, you must answer my riddles 3. Tommy and his friends eagerly accepted the challenge. They listened carefully as Freddie asked his riddles. The children put their heads together and came up with the answers, giggling with delight each time. After successfully solving the riddles, Freddie led them to a candy boat. They hopped aboard, and the boat set sail down the chocolate river. It was an unforgettable ride, with marshmallow clouds floating above them and candy fish swimming alongside them. As the boat reached the end of the river, Tommy and his friends found themselves back in Mr. Johnson's living room. The TV was back on, showing the fireworks lighting up the night sky. The countdown was finally over. Everyone cheered and hugged each other, grateful for the wonderful adventure they had just experienced. Tommy looked up at his mom, his eyes still filled with wonder. This was the best New Year's Eve ever, he exclaimed. And so, Tommy and his friends danced and celebrated the arrival of the new year, cherishing the memories they had made together. They knew that no matter where they were, as long as they were together, every New Year's Eve would be a magical and joyful celebration.